Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. We are taking you far, far, a billion years, that's how far, into the future, and checking out these humanoid-type creatures who, presumably, Brad, are still crawling around on what we call the planet Earth. But it's spelled U-R-T-H.
It is. And it's covered in drit. So there.
It is.
So last time...
On Critical
Hit.
On Critical Hit.
We fought some grazers and a kind of four-legged beast monster, and we got some Numenera and some shins, which is the not the shins that you think it is, ladies and gentlemen, but rather the money system in this world.
That's right.
And we were supposed to do some things, if I'm not mistaken.
So you guys managed to salvage a pile of ciphers out of the they were gazers, not grazers, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, gazers. Sorry.
That changes everything. And you got a little pile of ciphers, and I was going to have you all figure out who wanted what ones. And you have cipher limits. I think only one person spent a cipher. Was that right?
Yeah, I spent a cipher, and I have a limit. I have a limit of 2.
Yeah. I used my ciphers, but I have a way of retaining cipher uses. So
yeah, so you didn't actually spend anything, but you used them. So
yeah, I didn't use mine yet.
Yes, so you've already mostly got your limit of ciphers, but you don't have to keep those. And so basically, there are a handful of new ciphers that are available to you: cell disrupting detonation, an attractor or reality spike, an inferno wall projector, and a cipher sound dampener. And if anybody finds one of those interesting, you can swap that out for one of the ciphers that you have, and you can sell these, and we could get Sam to buy a bow.
Right. So I went ahead and just grabbed the Rejuvenator.
Good call.
That was definitely the best, the pick of the litter, as it were.
Yeah. And then I have a teleporter, which allows me to bound great distance, which is fine. I don't mind that. But man, that reality spike could really do some interesting things. But I only see it being used in maybe one instance. That instance may never come up. And so when we're looking at things there's
lots of things you can do with a an immovable rod.
Yeah.
I say,
but if somebody else wants that, go for it.
Hold on to the reality spike.
Go for it.
So the cipher limit, since we all have that hard limit, does that mean we can't even carry the extras? Yeah. Or
effectively, that's what it means. Yeah.
Okay. If you try to carry more, then weird stuff starts happening.
So bad that you don't want to do this thing.
Yeah.
I see.
Which is, the game's way of saying, drink your freaking potions.
It is. It is, yes.
So, if you if you want to swap one out, swap it out. But if you don't be too sad about not getting, or about, getting rid of some of these, because we're going to get a bunch more at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or either that or a steady trickle, depending on what happens.
The list is long. I, by the way, am going to do this just randomly. So the ciphers that you get are going to be randomly chosen ciphers, and that's just how it's happening. So
seems reasonable.
Yep. So if the reality spike goes away, there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get another look at a reality spike.
I will hold on to mine for the time being.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same.
I feel like the Eagle's Eye is slightly more helpful, and the Magnetic Master is just way too fun to give up.
All right, there you go. All right.
Did we get experience last game?
I was going to talk about that. I want to give everybody. I'm just going to give you one experience point, because it was a pretty light session last time.
Sure.
So I'm just going to
critical hit.
Thank you. So everybody's going to get one experience point. So hold on to that. Record that for yourself.
Can I spend that experience point?
You can, but if you spend that experience point, you are vulnerable to GM intrusions.
Oh, okay.
Because if I say, hey, Brian, how would you like a GM intrusion? And you say, no, I'm not really feeling it right now, Brad. then you would have to give me an experience point. But if you don't have any experience points, tough. You're going to have to take the GM intrusion.
I have this ability called Familiarize, which I can familiarize myself with a new area, blah, blah, blah. Once I'm familiarized with the area, all my tasks related to perception, navigation, salvaging, defense, and moving about in the area gain an asset. Each time I familiarize myself with a new area, you lose focus on a previous area unless you spend 1 experience to retain familiarity permanently. Basically, more for story reasons more than anything, I'd like to spend the experience to maintain familiarity, or actually establish familiarity with our village here. Yeah,
Okay.
with Drive.
Before you do that, I'm not saying you can't do that. I should just let you do this, shouldn't I? You know what? You can just do that. Never mind.
Okay.
All
Again,
right.
it's more.
I think what he's saying is that we're about to head out. But
Yeah, I know. I know we probably will never have another encounter in this village again, but
Yeah, so not to backseat game master or anything, but
just let you do these things.
but Brad, you might consider just letting him have familiarity with this, and then next time he tries to establish familiarity with something, since he needs to spend an XP to maintain it, to maintain the previous one, basically, instead of have it swap.
Yep.
You could just give him this one for free, but you don't have to. I'm not very I don't know how fast XP comes in, so.
Yeah, I don't either. But I'm not going to give him this one for free. If he wants, if he wants to spend it this way, he can spend it this way. So that's
yeah. I'm going to spend it to have this home turf advantage that'll probably never matter.
okay. All right, that's brilliant. All right. Any other bits of bookkeeping that we need to take care of?
Yes, I have one in regards to our recovery. So I notice on the character sheet, we all rolled a 1d6 plus 1. I got a 6. Is that supposed to be our recovery number until we level up or something? Because it seems like that recovery number, whatever we rolled, would be the same number that we use for our 10-second action, our 10-minute rest, our 1-hour rest, and our 10-hour rest. Is that correct or no?
No, when you take a rest, you roll a d6 and you add your tier to that number.
All right, moving on.
All right.
So would we be able to sell some of the junk that we got so that I could get a bow and 12 arrows?
Sure, go get a bow and 12 arrows.
Sweet.
I would actually like to do the same. Now
Sure.
that I realized what I've done with my character.
What have you done with your character?
Not thought it through as well as I could have.
Oh,
Hey, welcome to my life, Rob.
yeah, wow. Rob's.
Everybody's new at the game.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I just didn't realize that I'd be mostly making ranged attacks and that there wasn't like I don't know, my dagger doesn't come back to me every round or something like it used to.
So one clarification I also want to make that I misspoke last time.
On critical hit.
Thank you. So if you make a ranged attack, that is always a speed attack. And if you're defending against a ranged attack, that's always a speed defense. If you're making a melee attack, you, the player, can choose if that's going to be a might roll or a speed roll.
That is interesting.
And
Is there a difference? Does that determine how your opponent is defending against it?
No. Well, so that never worked. There is no defense against it.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah. So, well, that is to say, the target. So, okay.
Yeah, the target number is a defense.
Yeah. So, okay. So, say those gazers you were fighting, right? The gazers, because they're small, they have a better speed defense than the might defense. So it's harder to hit them using speed than it is to hit them with might. Okay. Does that make sense?
So then, yes, there can be a difference.
There's no defense roll. There can be a difference.
Sure. Okay. So there's static defense. So it's
right.
basically what defense you're targeting.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so you would say, okay, I want to make this a might attack or a speed attack for this melee attack.
Gotcha. So even though my speed is better than my might, there are still probably times where it might be better to make a might attack, because if something is like very fast.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that would be unlikely, but it's possible. Yeah. And by the same token, if you are getting attacked with a melee attack, you can choose if you want to use your might to defend against it or your speed to defend against it.
Okay, and that's just always true.
Yes.
Got it.
And what really matters there is the pool you're drawing effort from.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I hope that makes sense. Because as I'm saying it out loud, I'm thinking, oh my God, did I misunderstand this again?
Our listeners will certainly let us know. Podcastmajorspoilers.com.
There you go. By golly. Yes. All right. What other stuff do we need to keep track of?
Is somebody keeping track of the shins we got?
I was not. I think we're saying 10 shins per cipher. So you sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ciphers. Is that correct? And
Yep.
so that's 50 shins.
How much does your bow and arrows cost?
I believe 8.
And Rob, are you getting bow and arrows too?
Yes, please.
We also got
16.
5 shins just from beating up those guys last game.
That's right.
So
55 shins minus
16.
16 shins. You guys gonna make the English professor do the math?
Sure.
39.
Hey, you said you didn't have to roll any dice, so we'll make you do the mental math.
39.
39.
Yeah.
39 divided by, how many of us are there? 4? 5? 5 of us? 39 divided by 5 is?
So it'd be a little less than 8.
All right. I will take 7 and the rest of you can have 8.
Okay.
Aren't you guys nice? What are you going to give the NPC?
Nothing.
Oh, damn. Okay.
What did he do?
I was telling the NPC to stay home because he's old.
Yeah, because he's old.
You could do that.
I forgot what his name was, though.
Wow, so did I. His name was Galen. Galen
Ah.
Briss. Yeah.
So, Brad, that's something else you can do. You can create just names on the character sheet on Roll20, and then if you put them in people's journals, we'll be able to see them here on the right of the Roll20 sheet.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. That's like a style thing. If you want to do that, you can do that.
For like your characters?
For any characters.
Okay.
Yeah, for NPCs and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did it for the 5 of you. I did not do it for the NPCs, but
It's up to you.
yeah. Okay. Well,
It's a relatively short game.
Okay. We'll see if I do that or not.
Okay.
All right.
We were tasked, if I'm not mistaken, we were tasked with going out and finding what that big bolt of thing on the horizon is.
Yeah, there is a very thin black line shooting from the horizon upward as far as you can perceive this black line until it grows so thin that you cannot perceive it anymore. And it is effectively due north of where you all are. And so you've got your materials together. Galen Briss does want to go with you. He has got himself dressed now, and he is ready to go. He's oiled up his mechanical left arm and his mechanical left leg, and his mechanical left eye. He is wiped clean so that it is now given him some good vision. And I think you all are ready to head out. He's ready to head out if you are, I guess I should say. I'm assuming you all have various things like packs with some food in it and some...
Yeah, I'll go back and grab my pack and my tools.
Everything Rupert needs is on his kilt bag.
Excellent. His kilty pack.
Yeah.
Very good.
Or anything I don't have, I can always scavenge up.
Yes, I do have quite a bit of equipment, so I'll be grabbing my various bags and coming along.
Okay.
Silica will see that people are like getting weapons, and so he'll like go back to his little shed and get out a rapier and a knife.
Very good. He doesn't need a tent or anything like that.
He's got an auto tent.
Does Silica eat?
He probably does, because just in case he has like biological stuff, he needs to like maintain nutrient tanks and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, he probably eats. He might. The Venn diagram of like things that humans eat and things that Silica eats might be different, but there's definitely some overlap.
All right. That sounds good. All right. So if you all are ready, let's head out. It's a brisk walk across the field where the wood jacks have clear cut the timber between the village palisade and the edge of the darking wood. As you approach the darking wood, Galen Briss points out, as he did last time, the way the trees exactly due north of the village are much thinner than the trees on either side of this. There's a kind of it's about a 3 meter space where they seem to be clearly not as vibrantly thriving. And he reminds you all of the experiment that he and Silica conducted of jamming some rods down into the earth, and they met with resistance down below for as far out as they got into this, which was about 1 kilometer or so. That's as far out as he was interested in doing this experiment. By the way, I should tell you, so folks have ventured north into these woods, but not generally so. And Drive, the village that you're coming from, is pretty much the northernmost settlement that any of you is familiar with. So there are settlements around to the south of Drive, but this is about as far north as anybody has gotten. So you're not necessarily venturing into new territory. Maybe some delves have gotten up into the darking wood and poked around for a while, but it's generally not as. This would be the unexplored edge of the map for anybody. So as you're walking, Galen Briss he comes alongside Anam and says, "Young man, I'm interested in why are you coming along on this trip?"
Curiosity mostly.
What do you think you're going to see out here?
I don't know, all sorts of interesting things.
Well, I hope so. I think you will. I think you will. What's that little guy there?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This is Gormar. He's my friend.
Gormar. That's nice. Can I pat him on the head?
Yeah. All
right.
Gormar's long neck will extend out, hearing pats.
Ooh, all right. Oh, that's not. I was not expecting a big old neck like that. Okay. Well, he's got a cute little face though. There you go. Hi, Gormar. Good to meet you. Does he understand speech at all?
He understands some. He usually more gets what I'm trying to get him to do than understands what I'm telling him to do.
Okay. All right. How long have you had him?
What's today?
Today is Bitters Day, actually.
Oh, about 6 years.
6 years. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, he doesn't look that old. So that's pretty good. What manner of critter is Gormar?
I'm not sure. Gormar's the only one I've met.
Okay. All right. Well, good. I thought maybe I was just like not familiar with things and had, I thought it was me, but okay.
Yeah. I think something pulled him away from where he's supposed to be because his limbs aren't exactly built for this terrain.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Nice. Well, that's very, very nice to meet you, Gormar. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. Okay. That's pretty cool. Do you, yeah, I don't know. Suddenly, do you keep a lot of pets and things?
Yeah. Arma's around here somewhere.
Oh, there's another one?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Arma.
Arma.
The squirrel.
A squirrel? Wow.
Ani will whistle. real quick, and a insectoid-looking squirrel thing will hop out of the trees nearby and land on his shoulder.
Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I was expecting. Yeah, that's not at all. That's okay. All right. It's kind of gross, actually. But it's cute. I mean, it's cute. This one doesn't understand what I'm saying, does it?
No, not really. He understands whistles more. I don't know if he even really picks up most of what we're saying. I think we register it a sound that he doesn't hear.
Okay. All right. That's weird. Okay. All right. Great. Brilliant. I mean, yeah. I mean, just suddenly this little guy reminded me of. Do you know the parable of the imager and the spider? Do you know this?
I'm not familiar.
So well, it goes like this. So imagine you've got a spider, right? And the spider is inside a glass cage, and it's spun a web in this glass cage, right? Mm-hmm. And you want to get an imager to take an image of the spider, right? So you bring the imager up to the glass case where the spider has got its web, right? And the spider reacts, right? Like maybe the spider hunkers down into the corner to get away from the imager, or maybe the spider makes an aggressive display toward the imager because it doesn't know what the imager is about, right? And maybe even you decide to put the imager inside the glass case with the spider, right? And so the spider attaches its web to the imager because it thinks that that's what the imager is for. Like that's the best idea that the spider can get as a way to use the imager, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's going through the spider's mind as it's dealing with this imager, right? What are the things that the spider is thinking? And mostly, right, the spider doesn't understand that we want to take the spider's image with the imager, right? The spider doesn't think that at all. The spider is just looking at this as some bizarre intrusion. And maybe it's scary, or maybe it's something that it wants to intimidate and make it run away, or maybe the spider just wants to use it somehow in some kind of really weirdly pragmatic way. But the spider doesn't have like any kind of intense philosophy about the imager, right? Right?
Right.
So I wonder like for Arma, right? Like what does Arma think about us? Like maybe Arma has a relationship with you, right? And it wants to interact with you, and it interacts with you in a certain way. And then I come along and I'm standing here, and Arma doesn't seem to be particularly bothered by me, but maybe it's kind of reading your signals and it's just deciding that, well, since Anam isn't going to be all freaked out about this guy and his weird, like, I don't know, does Arma care that I've got this weird glowing eyeball, right? Does that bother Arma? And it doesn't, it doesn't appear to be bothering him. So maybe it's cool, right?
Arma just thinks I'm a really good source of food.
Yeah. Okay. So there. Yeah.
Pull out a few berries to give to Arma.
That's nice. Oh, it eats berries. See, looking at it, I thought it was gonna. Okay, I did not. Okay, I thought it was a completely different kind of creature than that. Okay. All right.
It eats whatever.
Yeah. That was more in line with what I was thinking. Yeah. That it would eat just whatever it decided it was going to eat. Yeah. Arma kind of. Yeah. I'm sure Arma is a really sweet guy here. It's gonna take some getting used to Arma for me. Sorry. Anyway, so the point of the parable of the imager and the spider, right, is that we're all the spider, right? This is the existence that we have. We're surrounded by the business of the Numenera, right? So we figured out kind of like what these ciphers are, right? I've got one here, right? I kind of know that. I mean, I do know that if I inject myself with this, it's gonna restore my health. But that's all I really know about it. And it might be doing all kinds of other things, or it might have the potential to do all kinds of other things. But the thing I know about it is it's going to restore my health. And so I'm going to do that. But like the drive, we know that it's got a little hub that spins on it. Well, it used to spin, but we don't really know what the drive is, right? I mean, we just don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, here, look at that. Look at that. And as he says that, you see a group of 6 gazers are coming toward you through the forest. There's not a path you're following, right? Because there are no paths here. But they're coming at you from the north, and they're just pretty much approaching you and stopping just a short distance away from you. They've made kind of a horizontal line about eye level in front of you all. How do you want to deal with that?
Am I sensing any danger here?
Are you sensing any danger? Do you have spidey sense?
I mean, I got the sensing danger skill.
Okay. Right now, you are not sensing danger.
All right.
So these guys fly, right?
Yeah, they do fly. Well, they hover.
So they just made a horizontal line, like
about your eye. Yeah, about your eye level. I mean, assuming you all have about the same rough eye level. So yeah, let's say 6 feet off the ground.
Are they? Does it look like they're trying to like basically set up a barrier? Like, hey, if you want to move forward, you're coming through us.
Nope. They just seem to be floating there, and they are pulsing like little lights. Like one will go, pulse, 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 and then one over there on the other end will go pulse, pulse, pulse.
Huh.
I feel like Osred will kind of nudge Rupert and say, why don't you approach him and see if they react at all?
I'll take out something to write with and make a note of the pulses.
Okay. All right.
I'll take a step forward. Hello, friends.
All right.
I'm actually trained in pleasant social interactions, so I will.
Oh, good, because Rupert definitely isn't the person who should be stepping forward after saying hello, friends. Somebody else better step in quick.
So yeah, I'll step forward, seeing like sensing weakness basically, and being like, "We come in peace. We just want to learn why you came to our village."
Okay, the one closest to you pulses 6 times in very rapid succession.
Are you trying to communicate?
And now it seems to be pulsing just sort of in random intervals.
Does it look like they're trying to communicate?
It might. You don't know. These might be random. They might be communicating with each other, or they might be communicating with you. That is, they're just kind of pulsing lights. So pulse, 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 pulse.
She'll kind of like gesture in their directions, like, "We're going that way."
Yep, they continue to pulse and hover there, about 6 feet off the ground. They're about a half a meter between each of them.
One of the ciphers I have came from our last fight with some of these guys. I'll look at the ciphers that are not attached to me, and see if any of those are like pulsing.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And they are not.
Okay.
Rupert slowly slides his oddity out of his kilt sack and holds it in his hand.
And this is the simple metal bar.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Rupert is now holding a metal bar. All right. Okay.
I'll like take a step forward, see how they react.
They seem unmoved. How close are you getting to them?
I mean, how far are we right now?
So we could say a short distance, and you could get that to wherever you want it comfortable. So you can say that you're 15 feet away, 3 meters away, something like that.
All right, I'll get within like 5 feet.
Okay, all right.
See if they change their behavior.
They don't seem to be changing their behavior at all.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little, like, move up another 3 feet.
Okay. All right. So you're within about 2 feet of one of the, like, you could reach out and grab it if you wanted to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. If anything, I mean, Maurice is kind of shorter than these other fellows. I got that impression, or did I just make that up? Okay.
No, that she's like probably like maybe 5'4".
So the one that is closest to you goes down to be at your eye level. So it is sort of down a bit.
She'll wave at it.
Okay. It continues to pulse in kind of random ways.
Any if I've been keeping track of the pulsing, do any patterns emerge?
You're not sensing any patterns at all. And like if you kept really close track of one of them or something like that, you're definitely not sensing a pattern there.
I do not sense a pattern, although they do seem to be trying to maybe tell us something. I would venture to say that whatever they're doing, they could be broken. And they're just unable to convey the information that they're supposed to be conveying.
She'll like kind of gently like reach out, like not to like grab it, but almost to like put so that it would be like floating above her hand, like to put her hand almost under it.
Okay. All right. So you can feel like there's a warmth that's emanating from it downwards, right? But other than that, it doesn't seem to be reacting in any kind of visible way to what you're doing.
She'll kind of shrug and like walk over to the side and try to walk through the line.
Okay. So there's only about a half a meter between each one. So you can certainly fit through, between them. But it's a snug fit. You might need to kind of, angle your shoulders to get through there.
Sure.
But they don't seem to have any hostile reaction to that.
She'll like turn back from the other side, kind of shrug.
Okay. I'll make a note of that and then start walking forward.
Okay. How close do you get?
I will probably Silica will like you said that they're only like a foot apart.
Yeah, a little more than a foot.
Okay, so Silica will actually walk toward the farthest one on the left and attempt to actually walk around the assembly.
Okay. They don't shift or anything to stop you. You can just walk around them unimpeded.
Okay. I'll look at them from behind and write down some additional notes.
Okay.
I'll walk around them too.
Okay. All right. You can do that.
Yeah, I'll walk alongside Rupert.
Okay. You're gonna approach them to like kind of together, and the two of you are gonna walk around them simultaneously.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. All right. They don't have any response to that at all. Galen will eventually follow you and walk around them also. Yep.
Ani will take the same path Maurice did and kind of try and get as good of a look as he can at him.
Okay. All right. So you can get a look, and these guys seem to be essentially identical to the gazers that you dealt with back in the village. All right. Okay. So now you're all on the north side of this line of 6 gazers.
Walk past them and away from them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Galen eventually shrugs and follows along. If you guys want to just continue your trek to the north.
Yeah. Well, just walk away, kind of cautiously looking back every now and again.
Okay. Well, eventually when you look back, they're not there anymore.
Okay.
So they seem to have assembled themselves back into a line and just continued their path to the south. And that was it. Okay. All right. Very good.
That ever happened to anyone before?
I can't say I've ever seen that.
Yeah, even Galen has never. That's a new one. Like he's seen gazers, but usually gazers stay further away, and they don't. This has been weird with the gazers lately, with them coming around and circling around the drive. But yeah, that was also a new one for Galen, where they just kind of sit there and hover and don't do anything at all, really. That was weird.
It is imaging spiders all the way down.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to have their nest at the drill, or maybe the drill is messing with them.
Yeah, the drive, you mean?
The drive.
Yeah. That could be.
Maybe they knew it was about to break, but they're part of some sort of mechanism that was supposed to fix it, but the part that fixes it isn't working.
Or maybe they're the reason why it broke.
That could be it as well, yes.
I suppose so, says Galen.
I think we would have noticed something if they caused the break.
They
were coming into town for a while.
Yes, but there are many things outside of the spectrum that we can notice.
Are you suggesting that they actually maybe flashed something that was not visible to our human eyes?
They could have.
That's an interesting thought, Galen says.
Like Silica will kind of motion with his hand very slowly, at nothing. It is like the lattice work.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Indeed. All right. You guys begin to notice, by the way, that you have been walking uphill for a while now, and the thin trees have become about the same as the trees around you. That is, if you had been following, well, and Galen had been, right, following this kind of thin trees as the guidepost to the way north. That doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. That the trees are all sort of uniformly old growth, big trees. They've got plenty of space around them, and you're not stumbling around in this forest. But it's a nice, healthy, old growth forest, and you can mostly continue to head north, but your visual cue is not there anymore.
Silica will reach down to take some soil samples and then realize that he's already kind of the slowest member of the group, so he'll only take one sample.
Galen pauses to watch you do this, appreciating the fact that he is not the slowest member of the group. That's that warms Galen's heart, if it's of any consolation to you.
Maria's is almost assuredly the fastest, and so she just keeps darting ahead. She's also trained in perception, so kind of naturally winds up scouting and then looking back and looking antsy at everyone still behind, and climbing a tree to look around at things.
Okay, how good is your perception?
That's a good question. So
you're trained in perception, right?
Yes.
So that means you're way better than the average. I guess we would say the average bear, if you want to go with the Winnie the Pooh reference. Yeah.
So I'm trained in it, and my intellect is 12.
Okay. All right. So as one of the things that you notice is through the just you get just this flash of it through some of these trees, and it's maybe 50 yards away, off to the right, and it's there. You can see it's there, but there is some kind of russet orange structure that seems to be, it's not as tall as the drive, but it's there and kind of not flush against the hill, but closer into the hillside as you're climbing up this now slightly steeper incline than it was a while back.
Or she'll point out and say, looks like there's an incline up ahead.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, but there's also a structure in that incline.
There's something built there.
Yeah, I can get to it.
We're not saying that you can get to it. I'm just saying that there might be someone there, or maybe that's where the gazers came from.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is there still that beam in the horizon?
Well, so you can't see the horizon anymore because you're in the middle
Of the
of
trees.
an old growth forest. Yeah.
Okay.
But why don't we move towards there and see what's up?
Yeah, sounds as good as any other idea.
Somewhere else to explore?
Indeed.
Okay.
All right. So as you approach this structure, you can see that it is very reminiscent of the way the drive is built, the same coloring of the drive, and that same sort of it's kind of wider at the base and thinner at the top, but it seems to be built into this hillside. And as you approach, it appears to be quite clearly a doorway. So where the drive had four sides to it, one of the sides is embedded in the hillside, and then the side opposite that is just gone. That is, it is a nice, big, inviting negative space.
Huh.
Is this still well within the forest?
Yeah, you're deep into the forest now. You guys have been walking for a few hours now, so you are several kilometers deep into the forest.
And it looks like it's made out of the same material as the drive.
It does. If you get close enough to it, you'll see that it has even the same grooves, the
Tracks.
pattern of tracks, that are cut into this as were in the drive.
Silica will then state that very obvious fact.
That sounds promising. Let's investigate.
Yeah, agreed.
I lean over to Osford. There better be something in this for me.
Yeah, well, we'll see what we find.
So you get up to it, and there it is, an empty doorway, and just a yawning dark portal.
Silica has walked up to the edge of it to get a better look at the material, but then he kind of turns around and faces kind of perpendicular to it like a doorman.
Uh-huh.
And just sits there and waits.
Galen comes up and stands next to you, and also just kind of looks at the others.
I'll stand in the doorway and kind of like just peer in, see if I can see anything.
So the light, is subdued because of the forest, and so there's not a lot of light generally, just ambient in the area. Definitely though, the doorway, there's just a smidge of light that you can see. There's just soil grit there on the floor, if that's the floor, and the rest is just inky darkness.
I think my explorer's pack comes with like glow ball, so I'll pull that out.
All right. How does that glow ball look? What's it look like?
It looks like just like a little glass sphere, like that she like taps on a few times, and it like little sputters into a kind of warm yellow light.
Nice.
And then just starts floating in front of her. And
Galen looks around at everybody and says, "Did you all bring glow balls with you?"
No.
Yeah.
No.
Comes with the pack, didn't it?
I thought
we be prepared.
Yeah, everybody has a glow ball. Does anybody not have a glow ball?
Oh, am I supposed to have a glow ball?
Not necessarily. I'm just asking.
Oh.
You might have not had a glow ball. That's why I'm asking.
No,
Rupert reaches in and pulls out his glow ball.
Okay, all right.
Silica does not have a glow ball.
Oh, okay, all right. So Galen reaches into his pack and pulls out two and hands you one and says, "Here, I've got you covered."
Thank you. Silica, instead of tapping it, Silica like flips it over and then flips it back, and it lights up.
So are we going in there?
Yeah.
That's the plan, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Okay. All right. So you're going to make Maurice go first?
Sure,
Make
I'll follow
her,
right
eh?
behind.
How are we gonna stop her from going first?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
She volunteered.
I'm down with that. As you
I'll pull out my bow at this point when we start stepping in.
Okay, all right. So the glow ball is just going to hover in front of you, right?
Yep, it explicitly does that.
Yep. So as you go in, you can see there's on the floor some bones scattered around in the drit, and there is distinctly a kind of musky funk to the smell of the space.
Smells weird in here. I don't like it.
I think something died in here. It's creepy.
I think it's just been closed for a while.
You don't think this is some kind of lair anim?
I mean, it's possible, but not too worried.
Okay.
So you can see that there's about maybe 3 meters deep, and there's the walls just disappear. That is, you can see that this opens onto a larger space just past where you are now.
Oh, we'll move through.
You're going to move through. Are you deciding that for everybody, or are you deciding that for yourself?
I'll go ahead and move through.
Okay, all right. Anybody going with him?
At least go and peek.
Yeah, I'll go through.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I'll follow.
All right. So as you get into the larger space, you do hear an odd kind of rumbly growling sound. Kind of a.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, I think there's something living in here.
I stand corrected.
Good with animals. Maybe you could make it not eat us?
I can try. Give me a moment.
What's your plan, Osford? Oh, not Osford. Onum. Sorry.
So it's kind of around a corner, right?
Nope. It's just straight ahead of you in this big open space that is an indeterminately large area.
Well,
And there's another growl.
I don't know that I actually have any abilities that are related to this as of yet.
I bet you could use an intellect something or other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to be trained in something. You can just, make hissy noises at it.
Yeah, I'm going to try and interact with the animal. Try and maybe offer it some of the food for one of my other 2 pets.
Okay, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna offer it?
First I'm going to see if I can figure out what it might be.
Okay.
Which I don't know how to do.
Well, we could say. So, what do you want to? You want to try to identify it from the smell,
sound,
sound. Okay, so your ability to possibly identify this from the weird sensory perceptions that you're getting that are pretty limited. Let's call this a. You don't have a lot of information to go on, so let's call this a challenging thing. The descriptor for a challenging thing is even somebody who's trained in doing this might likely fail at it, just because there's not a lot of information to go on here. A weird smell and a growly noise. So that's going to be a difficulty of 5. So your target number to roll is going to be 15.
All right. And I'm assuming this would be an intellect thing?
This would be an intellect thing, yes. Yes, indeed.
Okay. I am going to put forth the effort then.
All right. So that'll get you down to a nice 12.
Could I maybe help him? Because I'm trained in pleasant social interaction. It's just kind of making some soothing cooing noises to go with it.
Well, right now he's not trying to make the thing happy. He's just trying to figure out what it is from the
right, fair
limited
enough.
information he has. Yeah.
Then maybe I could use my trained in perception to help him to just be like, I mean, I don't know as much, but I can tell him a little bit more of what I'm hearing.
I would say, hey,
Oh, there you go.
got there.
Look at that. Okay, good job. You missed the spore that is on the ground right behind you. You actually stepped over it. You are fairly certain that you might be walking into the lair of a ravage bear. And a ravage bear is imagine what we would think of as a bear, except not covered in fur and not having eyeballs and having massive tusks and a very, very, very angry disposition, basically.
We probably don't want to be here, guys. This is a ravage bear.
Oh, crap. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, slowly back away.
Back out.
You can hear definite movement now from inside the large chamber.
We all leave the large chamber.
Okay, and as you're leaving the large chamber, now you're hearing faster and faster movement. There is something. Oh, now it's roaring, and it is approaching the space that you're in now. Are you going to stay inside the small chamber, or are you going to?
Oh no, we're getting out of this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going
All
to throw my sleep gas bomb.
You've got a sleep gas bomb.
Oh, nice. That's
Heck
cool.
yeah.
Brilliant. All right. So, all right, to throw your sleep gas bomb, let me find your sleep gas bomb thing. How does that work? Describe it to us.
It could be projected up to long range, burst in a cloud with an immediate distance. The cloud lingers for 1d6 rounds unless conditions dictate. Otherwise, living creatures that breathe fall asleep for a number of rounds equal to the cipher's level until awoken by a violent action or extremely loud noise.
Okay, so throw it.
All right. Well, it's actually a wrist projector, so I guess I'll spray it out.
All right, so are you spraying into the small chamber or the large chamber? You spray it before you leave the small chamber, or from outside, or from the small chamber.
I think I'm going to go ahead and do it before we leave, as they're leaving. So
Okay. All right.
if there is any unintended casualties of falling asleep, then at least hopefully I won't get the rest of my team and they can drag me out if need be.
All right. Okay. So let's see. This is a 1d6 plus 3 level cipher. We didn't roll the level on that one. Roll the level on that really quick for me, would you? Just a d6, add 3 to it.
5.
All right. It's a 5. It's a level 5 cipher. All right.
So, can I help reduce? Because I've been with Osford before and I know this routine, so I'm going to kind of be closer to him than the rest just in case I have to yank him out. I don't know if that would help with anything.
Okay, that might. I think, Osford, though, you're probably not going to breathe this gas, right? And in fact, you can hear as the sound of the creature is getting closer and closer. Just on the other side, just inside the large chamber, just before it gets to the smaller chamber, there is a very loud, audible. In fact, you can maybe feel it, a thump as something large and heavy hits the ground solidly.
Ah! Spray over there.
You got it. It is asleep.
Hey guys, I think I got it.
Nice. Should we sneak in now that it's asleep and see if there's anything interesting we can find?
I mean, it's probably not going to be out long.
It's going to be extra cranky.
Yeah.
So it's going to be out for a number of rounds equal to the cipher's level. So that's going to be 5 rounds, and 5 rounds, or what do we say? A round is about 20 seconds, as I recall. I may be wrong about that, but we can call around 20 seconds for our purpose.
Oh, about 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
Or about 1.5 minutes, sorry.
Yeah.
Leave it some food. Then he will be happy when he wakes up.
I think we should just get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll reevaluate. Unless we all want to just I don't know, blast into it and see if we can take it out while it's still asleep.
Hmm.
No, let's go.
Okay.
All right. So
Did it-
you're all,
From the construction, did it look like there was a lot more to that, rather more than just like a big old chamber?
you wouldn't be so as the incline goes. I mean, there definitely could be a lot of stuff back. I mean, you have no idea. There could be a lot, especially if the chamber, headed downward, right? That was definitely, could be really massive or not much there at all. Really, who knows?
Well,
We should
let me check it out.
keep an eye out for hatches or alternate ways in.
I don't suppose anyone could set up any kind of traps in case it tries to pursue us once it wakes up.
I could
Ooh, I can make
put
it.
it in. I could put it inside a little house.
I've
Here,
got.
I got something. And she's gonna pull out her friction reducing gel and just start rubbing down the ground around it. So it'll just make the things extremely slippery for an hour, making it hard for it to move around.
Oh, maybe we could have made like a line, and then we just like slide it down to a different part of the forest.
Did anybody take that? Anybody take that immovable spike?
No.
I
No.
don't think
Oh,
so.
boo. See, this is one of those things you just set on the bear and the end.
He would have pinned its head to the ground with a spike that was just
Its head, but its body.
Well,
okay.
I would have been able to
Probably
wiggle
see
out of
that.
that. Haven't you seen the Jungle Book? Bears like to wiggle around and scratch themselves, and they sing and they dance.
very
All right,
nice
so now-
fair attitude about the life.
So now there's a super slick gel of ground outside the space of the entryway there. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Well, this buys us an hour.
All right.
Let's try exploring
Exploring where?
around to see if there's a way that we can get further in that doesn't involve bear.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So you're just gonna just kind of search around in the immediate area for some other structure or a hatchway or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should we maybe go back outside, see if there's any other entrance into this?
Yeah, that's what they just said. Yeah.
I thought you just meant into this room or whatever.
Oh no. I mean, you can. Yeah, there's not much going on in this room, right? There's some little bones and grit on the ground, but that's the little entryway is just kind of a little entryway. There's not much to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
I mean, there is a sleeping bear for the next maybe minute and a half inside the area there. All right, so you're gonna look around. There's nothing visible in the immediate area. If you want to spend some effort on perception, I will let you do that though.
I think I.
So, I mean, we need to use
around some.
from our pool to do that, or
Yeah, you can do that from your. Well, it's just, okay. I'm sorry. I forget that effort is actually like a word. Sorry. I just meant if you want to do that.
yeah.
So yeah. I have a number in mind, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. So if people want to make perception checks, I have a number in mind that would lead to you perceiving this other thing, if it exists. If it
I'll
exists,
roll for it.
I mean,
all right.
I am specialized in perception.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, aren't we Mr. Fancy Pants?
Wow. Okay. All right. And so
just roll a d20 and you tell us if we hit it.
So when you're specialized in perception, explain to us exactly what that does for you.
Well, that would knock 2 levels of difficulty off, I believe,
Okay. All right.
as opposed to the normal 1.
Okay. So are you going to spend effort?
And this would be out of intellect.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I will. I do got an edge in intellect, so I will
All
spend
right.
2.
All right.
So knock down 3.
All right.
Difficulty. And I'll roll a d20 as I search around and get a 15.
All right. Yeah, you actually, wow, that's pretty impressive, actually. You do see further up on the hill and back off to the left, there is a little, like, a weird mound, and it might be that same orange color under there, and it might be worth checking out.
Hey guys, I think I found something over here.
Exciting.
Ooh.
So it's just kind of it's maybe about maybe 5 meters away or so. It's not very far. It's just a little further up the hill and a little off to the left as you're facing the entryway there. If you go up to it, you can see that it's got a lot of kind of vine weed covering it. If you rip that apart, you can see that there appears to be just a square of this same orange synth that the drive is made of and that this entryway is made of.
I'll open it up.
You'll open it up? All right.
Yeah.
You're going to need to make a challenging might roll to do that.
Challenging might roll. I think I will put in some effort into that.
That'll get your roll from a 15 down to a 12.
And if I help?
If you help, that'll get it down to a 9.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Yeah. We'll both grab a hold of it. I've spent 2 points of my might plus my 1 of edge. And what'd you say it was? Demanding?
It's challenging. So it was a 15.
Yeah, but I'm rolling a D3.
Oh, now it's a demanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have like a pry bar I could offer to this effort.
Oh, well, now you say that after I roll it. So
Well,
depends on if Brad will allow it or not.
I will allow it. All right.
Okay.
We'll allow that you used a simple lever, and that was enough to actually make it so you could succeed. Okay. Very good.
All right. Do I need to roll that again or not?
No, that's fine. We'll take it as read. Gosh, wow. All right. Okay, so you pry it off, and you can smell the same stink coming out of here. This is definitely that same Ravage Bear stink, and it's just kind of opening into a large space that you cannot see the floor of.
But so do we have more than one glow ball?
Everybody's got a glow ball.
yeah, I got 2 in my bag.
Drop one of your glow balls. Osford, drop one of your glow balls in there.
Okay. I will pop my glow ball and drop it on down.
Okay. So it goes down, like as you give it a good shove downward, you can see that it, maybe about 15, 20 feet below you, there is a floor. It's just dirt, and there are some scattered bones down there.
Can we see any other entrances, exits beyond what we assume is the exit to the small chamber where the Ravaged Bear is asleep for the moment?
If you stick your head in, you can see that there is a small amount of light coming from so this is basically just that chamber again, just a different part of the roof of that chamber apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you can see there's a small amount of light coming over there from that entranceway that was the entranceway that you came in before. And
but nothing else.
Maybe you can make out the shadow of a sleeping Ravaged Bear there.
I think this is a dead end.
And it seems to be moving. The Ravaged Bear seems to be kind of moving around. If you can just kind of make out that it's starting to stand up.
All right. Well, then why don't we get out of here before it wakes up and starts trying to eat us?
Does this opening seem big enough for the Ravaged Bear or no?
This opening, no, is almost certainly not big enough for the Ravaged Bear. No. But that other opening is plenty big enough for the Ravaged Bear, yes.
You think we could irritate it enough that it just try to get us through here and we can...
Yeah, but it doesn't look like there's anything in there.
Are you wanting to try and get the bear stuck?
Or whatever?
Are you trying to Winnie the Pooh this poor bear?
Definitely trying to win this poor bear. We've got some honey. If there's nothing else here, let's just move on.
All right. Is my go globe out of reach?
Yeah, it's you give it a good shove down toward the bottom there, right?
Okay. Then,
Yeah.
Yep. Let's just.
Okay. All right. You can see that the bear seems to be coming over and smelling around in that, like it seems to be able to smell you and is now growling at the entryway, not the entryway, but the little hatch that you're now all standing around. Like it's below the hatch and growling at you.
We shall leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one's not worth it.
Okay. Do you want to? Are you running away, or are you just kind of walking casually away?
Walking.
I mean,
Jogging away.
Walking casual.
All right, fly casual.
I got my hands down in my kilt pockets, and just kind of the slow stroll away,
Just
away from the bear cave, not looking back.
whistling and
Whistling by the graveyard.
All right. Okay. All right. Very good. All right.
And I think, honestly, that's where we're going to have to stop this episode this week. I know that I know everyone was anticipating, they're going to be fighting a big giant bear. And then we said, haha, Brad, no, we're not. But that's how it goes sometimes in these games.
Items.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah. All right. So if anybody have any questions, comments, if you have some corrections on some of the things we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, just drop us an email, podcast@majorspoilers.com. Happy to look it over. In the meantime, go check out our Discord server. There's a link in the show notes. So many great people are hanging out over there these days. We would love for you to join our growing community of really cool Critical Hit fans. Again, our Discord server, a link in the Patreon. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2022 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.